Today, I'd like to talk about a new study conducted with Guthrie Gray Loeb, Anthony Keats, Isaac Mbiti, and Owen Osier. This study is on basic education, but I think a strong basic education is really the foundation for students to pursue whatever they choose to pursue later in life. I wanted to note that this work received support from the Omidyar Network's Education Initiative, the World Bank, JPAL, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And to note that the Omidyar Network, the World Bank's IFC, and Bill Gates are also investors in Bridge. And also that some of the research team are also involved in other studies of Bridge. So today, I'd like to discuss results on an approach to schooling in which multiple components of the education process are highly structured and standardized. And we found very large gains in student learning, gains that are really among the largest in the education literature. And although the approach was applied in private schools, the magnitude of the gains suggests that policymakers may want to explore whether similar approaches could be used in their systems, including in public schools. We studied the impact of providing scholarships to Bridge International Academies, which is a program of New Globe, which operated at scale at the time, with more than 400 schools serving more than 100,000 pupils. These schools standardized instruction through very detailed scripted lesson plans, but also developed complementary standardized procedures for a range of activities, such as teacher recruitment and monitoring, financial management, and even school construction. So here's an example of a standardized lesson guide that Bridge sends via tablet computers to its teachers. So in this lesson plan, you'll see the content. So here's an example of the words the lesson is about. Okay? But here you see instructions like touch word 1 or eyes on me or scan. Now these are actually stage directions. This level of standardization and detail goes beyond what we normally think of in education lesson plans. It isn't just standardization of content, it's standardization of pedagogy, both what to teach and how to teach it. Now, the approach extends beyond this to other complementary systems. School heads follow their own detailed scripts for conducting daily teacher observations, including instructions on what teacher behaviors to watch for, how to provide feedback, and same-day checks to see that feedback is indeed incorporated in teachers' work. To help track performance and determine whether scripts need improvement, there's a system of frequent pupil assessments. Physical infrastructure and classroom design are also standardized. Technology is used throughout to monitor teacher attendance, to record school head observations and student test scores, as well as to standardize day-to-day financial management and to receive and send financial transfers. In fact, arguably, this approach would not have been possible without smartphones, tablets, and the widespread availability of digital data. So let me having told you about what we're evaluating, let me tell you about how we evaluated it. So we report on a randomized evaluation of a 2-year scholarship program to Bridge International Academies. So more than 25,000 eligible students applied, but there are only 10,000 places available. So they were awarded through a lottery. Now that provides the equivalent of a randomized controlled trial that's often used in medicine. And it allows the impact of attending Bridge schools to be isolated from potential Sorry, I seem to be, I hope we're seeing the, great. Sorry, I had something up on my screen. It allows the impact of attending bridge schools to be isolated from potential confounding factors. Offering the scholarship increased the chances of attending bridge by about 1/3. Some of the people who didn't win a scholarship chose to go on their own. So here are some key results from the study. After being enrolled for 2 years, primary school pupils gained the equivalent of almost 1 extra year of schooling, and pre-primary pupils gained the equivalent of 1.5 additional years. So in other words, in 2 years, people would learn what would normally be learned in 3 or 3.5 years. These test score results are among the largest in the international education literature, particularly for a program that was operating at this scale. The effects on test scores exceed the 99th percentile of effects from different education programs examined in a recent review article. If you want to put this in more concrete, less abstract terms, enrolling at Bridge increased the fraction of pre-primary grade students able to read a simple sentence by 30 percentage points from a base of 22% amongst those who didn't receive scholarships, and increased the fraction of those able to do a simple addition problem by 19 percentage points relative to a non-recipient average of 50%. Enrolling at Bridge improved the test scores of lower achieving pupils the most. There weren't significant differences by gender or socioeconomic status. Now, one concern about this very highly structured and standardized approach is that some people might be worried this would inhibit creativity or be a form of teaching to the test. But our data suggests that this didn't seem to affect creativity either way, and that the learning gains do not appear to be driven by rote memorization. Enrolling at Bridge also increased the probability of timely grade progression by, after 2 years by 20 percentage points in primary grades and by 19 percentage points in the pre-primary grades. Since the time of our study, New Globe, the parent company, is now working primarily as a service provider to public schools. And 95% of the students they reach are now through that model. Thank you very much.